Our team played hard today, and they played with resiliency and determination and toughness and grit. And it was a challenging game, but we knew it would be, and we knew there would be ups and downs, and we knew there'd be lead changes, and we knew that their defense would be disruptive and cause some problems. Fortunately, we matched the disruption, if not exceeded that defensively, and that really described the first half. And then the second half became who can consistently get a first down, who can capture momentum, who can hold and maintain field position. And just when I think we've done that, then we get the kick return. And so nothing's easy, but that's where our program is, and that's what we're battling through. And I was proud of our players for the resiliency they showed and have shown. And it's fun. Again, it's fun to see them smile. It's fun to see them happy. It's fun to see them exhausted, but also have a tangible outcome that they can look to justify and to continue the momentum that they're generating. And it's really fun to see. So I'll take questions.
Bronco, Charles Snowden made you look pretty smart on the second last play of the game. Was Peace gassed at that point, or did you put Charles in the press?
We had quite a few players that, I mean, I don't think they can play longer or harder. They were just reaching that threshold, and when you talk pass play after pass play, and especially when they're starting to complete them, there isn't much chance to recover and get another great pass rush. And we have two young pass rushers right now as first years, and Elliott Brown and Charles Snowden, that are doing a nice job. And a capable and committed and assignment sound first year that's fresh and can go in a situation like that, you don't just put anyone out there. There was a lot at stake there, and that he not only did what he was supposed to do, but then actually made a play as well in that situation. It's really cool.
Bronco, what kind of growth does it show that you guys had adversity early in the game? Kurt looked like he'd never played football before, and then even when you went up 2 scores with the kick return, how much does that speak to where this team is compared to where it was when you got here?
Wow. I think, first of all, it does speak to it, and it speaks to it through 5 games is where it speaks that we are building resiliency, we're building maturity, we're building people, but we're also building a consistent or capable football program, and it's starting to show. Again, I'm framing this, we're just at the beginning, we're just starting, but it is showing, and I think that's noticeable to most. But for my metrics, it's showing. And the mindset on the sideline, as I'm watching our players' body language, there's just a resolve of, oh, that just happened, okay, next play. Oh, okay, next play. And there aren't these wild and emotional way ups and way downs. There's just work to be performed. And then at the end of all the work, when the game's over, then we can kind of look, and they get to explode in the locker room. They still are. And that's fun.
I'm sure you saw Donnie's delight when he scored that caught his second touchdown pass. Did you see the somersault? What did you think about the whole thing?
I didn't see it. I've been asked. I was just asked a second ago before I came in here. I did not see it. And Donnie already, right when the team came in, he already addressed the team, and a lesson learned, and we'll move forward. And one of the things that I love most about teaching through football and coaching is the lessons of accountability, where this action equals and affects other people. And there wasn't much that had to be said. I mean, it played out in front of everyone. And that's one of the cool things. If a coach and a program is intentional about promoting accountability and team before self, then you get those moments that hopefully are life-changing for not only one young man, but maybe a group of young men as a team.
Kurt, as I referenced before, looked pretty sad in the first quarter. But and some people were comparing it to the Indiana game. Mm-hmm. How much does it say about him that he kind of snapped out of that and came back? And obviously, you guys went with a lot more short passes.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things that happened. The way Duke was playing was very aggressive, and we knew that. And even when preparing for it, I think it was faster and a little bit more aggressive and a little better than what we even anticipated. But then the in-game coaching is something that my staff is becoming more skilled at in terms of putting the right people in the right spot at the right time and then adjusting as things go. And so I think what you saw in the second half is just under these circumstances, with that score against that team, we changed our approach, and that seemed to at least capture some momentum, build a little bit more consistency, and look more rhythmic and more like football.
They came in, I think they were #1 against the run in the conference, and Jordan got 96 yards. They seemed like 96 hard yards. What did you see from the run game?
Just that, and he seemed to get stronger as the game went. There was hardly anything at the beginning, but as the game went, and they played more plays and we were playing more plays, Jordan was just continuing to fall forward, and it's hard to do against. Again, I think they're good. And I think they're well coached, and I think their schemes are excellent, and I think their program is seasoned, and I think their head coach is exceptional.
What was the thought process on the 4th and 1 on the very first drive midfield? Were you trying to be aggressive, set a tone? Did you see something?
Yeah, it wasn't just for this game. I mean, no one's going to give us anything, and there's nothing passive, and there's nothing that's just kind of going to be lukewarm. I mean, we're trying to win every game, and that mindset sometimes has to come from the head coach in terms of what we're going to do. And I think the message is that we're capable, and I believe they can do it. And when we don't, then hopefully the defense stops them, or et cetera, and we just play. But we're not going to be passive, and we're not going to be safe, and we're not going to be lukewarm. There are times where there's smart decisions, and sometimes as the head coach, it doesn't look like some are very smart. But the intent was, we thought it was going to take, we're probably going to have to steal 1 or 2 series today somehow, some way, because of how many plays they run offensively and what they'd been doing in terms of running the football. And so I was counting 4th downs as a way to steal a possession.
Coach, you continually try to frame this, as you said, as, still scratching the surface, still getting going. But this is something you're accustomed to. Last year was the aberration for you. How long until this is the new standard, this is the new normal?
The players, they themselves have named what we're doing the new standard. I didn't name it. So they've recognized it. They want that, and they want that to be normal. And so they're striving for it. They're investing in it. And I'm glad to help them. But it has to be theirs. And it is right now. They named it, they claimed it, they branded it, and they want a new standard for UVA football, and they're working really hard to live up to that. And that's fun, because then I just become an advocate, a mentor, someone to help them reach what they want. And they're seeing it more clearly now, which is getting some momentum.
Bronco, what does this mean to you personally to be 4-1 at this juncture?
It means a lot. It's been a challenge, which is why I came. I mentioned a lot of times that I like hard things and I like to build. It's taken everything we got, myself and our staff and our players. But I don't know if many people get to give everything they got and be with people that are united and working toward that. So I'm fortunate to, number one, have the opportunity, and fortunate that we're showing some signs of progress this early in our second year that might look like and give a sense of the direction that we could be going, not only the rest of this year but the future.
Bronco, on that drive that you go up 28-14, you go 4 for 4 on 3rd downs. What was it that allowed you to be that efficient in those circumstances?
Well, I think the rhythm that Bankert was getting in, but also Robert and I, as a play caller, we were just becoming more clear about where we might be able to get the yards. At the beginning of the game, you saw those yards were hard to come by, and so we were having to become a little less conventional and a little more motion oriented and run around rather than run through, which is higher risk, but they, to their credit, they made us do that.
Bronco, not a headline topic, but at times when you had the ball, Coleman seemed your best.
Oh man,
what weapon?
Totally.
But just the field position he was able to create for you guys. How important was it?
I think that is the backstory, because the defenses were playing so strong, and every play just seemed to be this, my kids would say, ginormous play, and to have the punters just, they became almost the feature there for a while, and then that shifted to, there wasn't much happening in the return game other than Joe Reed early on. He had a couple nice returns, but boy, the field position that Lester helped us with, I think could have been the difference just in where the scores, if they had one more score or not. So yeah, I was really encouraged by what he did today.
How much did Snowden play during the game?
One or two plays, I think. The last series, yeah. Yeah, at the last series. So we put
That might have been his only play.
Could have been. I don't know. So the we put he and Elliott Brown in against UConn, and they teamed up for a sack. We put them in at the end of the Boise game. We had 7 first-years out at that game, and I think they had a sack there. You guys will have to check the numbers, but then again, what it says for our staff to put him in, if that's his only play. I mean, that's, yeah, it's a big deal. A big deal doesn't quite do it justice, does it? You can take whatever liberties you want to do to make that better than a big deal. Ginormous is a good one, yeah.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thanks.